Huntsville, Decatur, Florence. You're watching WZDX News first at 9.
A local coach is living his dream despite an unexpected turn.
As Hannah Oliveto shows us, 6 years ago, his life completely changed.
I knew I wanted to coach as soon as I finished playing rec league ball as like an 8th grader. Yeah, like that very next year, I was like, I want to coach.
Wright Ward has been coaching for 18 years. In 2013, he moved to Huntsville to be the Randolph girls' head basketball coach. And a few years later, he and his wife Lauren found out they were expecting. They planned to make the announcement at the Georgia-Vanderbilt game. But the day they expected to be filled with so much joy was overcome by fear.
It was kind of just in the middle of the conversation, and I do remember looking at her, and the next thing that I really remember is that I felt like my right arm went up in the air, and I just started saying, I, and I do remember her looking at me and saying, "Are you choking?" And I couldn't respond. And then I remember falling to the left. And then I remember waking up in an ambulance. And the time in between, I know nothing about. And I also know that I could not have been in her shoes.
Things went from bad to worse for Wright and Lauren.
I didn't even think like cancer was back, but they said he has bleeding in his brain. And I'm just thinking like, what? Like, why? And obviously they didn't really know his history.
This was not the beginning of Wright's first battle with cancer. In 2011, he was diagnosed with stage 3 melanoma, and after 13 months of treatment, he was in remission. That is, until he had the seizure and found out cancer was back. This time, it was stage 4 metastatic melanoma, and he had to have brain surgery.
The first thing that went through my mind is like, oh my gosh, like I can't raise this baby by myself. But the next day he was up walking, and he is a miracle, I guess.
As he continues treatment and raising his son, he continues coaching.
Be patient, Will. Be patient, Will. Now.
And his players in the school have been there to support him along the way. Being able to coach means everything to Wright.
Working with kids and working with young people and having that opportunity to coach the sport you love and to work with kids, which is something that I love to do, if that had been removed, it would have been really, that would have been a different, very different mental state.
As the assistant athletic director and a coach on 3 different teams now, he's still not letting anything slow him down.
Knowing that you've got this huge obstacle and knowing that you might be facing what a lot of other people might say is this, immovable mountain of some kind, and just people realizing that you can do it. You can do it. Like, get out of bed, put your feet on the floor, and go.
In Huntsville, Hannah Oliveto, WZDX Sports.
Such an inspiration to us all. Now, doctors recently told Wright Ward he only needs 2 more weeks of treatment and then he will be in remission. So that is very great news, and we wish him the best.